Hello everyone and welcome back to Bricks and Dragons. Today we are looking at set 60405. This is the latest medevac helicopter from Lego. Let's see, I guess I'm trying to figure out, oh there it is. That is actually the correct, the right side. Okay. So we have 226 pieces on this set. This is a little bit bigger than some of them that I've seen before. We actually get 3 minifigures with this one. Starting off, we get 1 minifigure. We have a young lady here. She's got a backpack, so we can try and attach our rope so we can go down. She's got her hair back in a bun. She does actually have, I'm going to lift this up here and I'm going to get these out. Otherwise I'll forget. She does have a helmet, so she's got like a repellers kind of crash helmet, kind of like the either bike helmet or skateboard helmet that Lego makes. So that's the kind of helmet that we have. So if you want to, you can take the face or the hair off. We only have one face on there, and she's got the glasses. Keep the wind out of her eyes. We put the helmet on there, and then we just hold the hair off to the side. I think she looks better with the hair on, so I will leave the hair. And both of the crew actually have the same type of uniform. So we have a nice reflective uniform. It's printed on both sides. I know you can't really see it on this one. I'll take her head off. So we do have like the medical emergency symbol on the back, and it is a nice reflective vest. And I'm hoping I can do this into the camera, but from the lights up above, I do see this reflect in the lights. So I'm hoping it shows up in the camera. Put her backpack back on here. So that's the start one. I mean, we have her for rappelling down. We have our pilot. And again, it's the same kind of reflective vest and that. Same symbol on the back. Again, he's only got the one face. So we have a young gentleman here. He comes with the hair, or if you want, he's got the flight helmet with the visor that can go up. If I can put it on here. Okay, and then we can put that down, or we can have it up. But I like to keep him with his hair. Alright. And that's how I had him in the control, or in the cockpit there. So we have these two, and then our third character is actually someone to be rescued, and we have a hiker here. And again, I believe he only has one face. Nope, he does. He has 2 faces. I'm sorry. So he's got one where he's in distress and another one where he's just kind of walking around, not a problem. He's got the knit cap going. So if he's out there for a little bit colder weather, he does have a backpack on, so I'm hoping I can get that. I got to take the head and the hair off. So we have a nice print on the front. We do have a little bit of print on the back, showing that the shirt's a little on the looser side. He's got some nice khaki pants. I think this is the first time I've seen this backpack that we have him with. I'll try and get this all on here. Alright. It's not a very deep backpack. It is a kind of a shallow backpack, kind of like he's just day hiking or something like that. Obviously, he must have had this flare in there, because here he's got a flare. It's got the light on there, or it's going there, little flames. This works out pretty good. When I saw the helicopter, I thought it was kind of neat, because we have a medevac helicopter here. And this one actually has a crane on the side. So this was kind of the selling point to me. It looks a very nice looking helicopter. We have the crane on the side. And I want to say something. I'm happy that Lego's done this. I'm going to kind of unwind this a little bit. We actually have, when you get this, a round kind of brick piece on the end, on both ends. So you don't have to try and tie it and see how good you can do on your knots or anything else. This is already done for you. So to me, this is awesome because we don't typically get this. Normally, we will have, actually, I'm just kind of thinking maybe I can put it on here. Nope, it doesn't have the round going all the way through. Normally, with something like this, we've got to kind of tie it. So in that regard, it doesn't really always work as good. I mean, it's always with the best intention, but it doesn't always work as good. This time I actually put the line on here. I had the young lady for rappelling. She's just kind of hanging on here. We have handholds on both sides of the helicopter. So we have that available. We have a nice yellow kind of like a high-vis reflective yellow so everyone can see. And they also did it on the sides here. So we can all see that this is a medical helicopter. This has a very nice looking canopy to me. It doesn't come down all the way, which I kind of wish it did, but it is what it is. And we do have enough room in here for both figures. So I could actually put our repeller lady and a pilot in here, and then we could still close this up. So that would actually work. The landing struts are done a little differently than the other ones I've seen for different helicopters. Works very well. If I set it down here, it does hold it pretty good. It's not, I mean, it wants to kind of go back up. So if you have a young kid that's playing with it, it will want to kind of just self-correct, which is really good. If we go on to the other side, I mean, you can see the medical bed here, stretcher that we have. When we get into the back, we have a door that opens, so that kind of comes down all the way down. Looks pretty good. We actually have a little, we have pieces to try and help lock that stretcher in there. So this stretcher doesn't just fall out. We actually have to kind of pick it up on the sides a little bit and then bring it out. So this is the common stretcher that they've been using for a while. Nothing new here, but still, it's a very nice working stretcher. Not a problem with that one. Not in my mind, anyway. We still have this nice reflective yellow going back here. This is done a little differently than what I think I've done on some other ones. Normally, it just kind of flanges out here, but this is actually a straight piece, and we actually have the slope pieces in the front here. So that holds that pretty good. And we have, of course, our Technic here for our secondary rotor. So that way we can do our directional as far as going left and right with our tail. And of course, then we also have our, my mind wants to say fin, but I know it's not fin. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, I'm sorry. And this one actually has the 4 rotor blades, so it rotates pretty good. And we have a new round piece that I don't remember really seeing before on some of the other builds. So we have that here, and it does work out pretty good. Nice simple design, you know, 226 pieces. This is about $20. I think this is a pretty good value for the money. I think it adds a lot of play value. Having the 3 figures here, I mean, we can have him walking anywhere, and here we can kind of chop her in. We can rappel down, try and get them, and then take on off. So yeah, I think this works out pretty good. I was excited when I saw it, and I was just kind of holding off on buying it, and today I just couldn't hold off any longer, so I got it today. I want to kind of compare this to some of the other ones that we have. The first one's going to seem a little funny because this is really from the Lego Friends when they first started doing some of the other things. So we have a little Lego Friends helicopter. This is actually from like one of the first hospitals that they did. And, you know, this thing is very small. I mean, obviously. And it has like a little hook so you can kind of hook onto the stretcher. And you would actually go this way. But I mean, the way that they have this little rotor blade that is just really, really small. Not much is going to really get picked up with that. So, it's all for imagination. I think they really could have done a little bit better on this one. But because this is for a set and it's for my daughters, I wanted to show you because some of their buildings are in my city, and the hospital is one of them. So, being what it is, yeah, it's kind of silly and all that, but I give them props for trying. I think it's a little silly for the girls, but it is what it is there. And then I got this one, and of course this one comes with a truck. So this is actually, if I look here, I'm sure I can find the set number. This is set 60343. So if you're new to doing Legos, if you ever have a vehicle, the set number is actually under license plate. If you're old to it and you already know that, I mean, it's something you already knew. But if you're new to it and you're trying to remember, that's how you know what set it's from. This was an interesting setup because it was meant to have the helicopter. If you wanted, you could probably put the blades out a little bit more, but this was meant so that way you can actually transport the helicopter on the truck. So I'm hoping, yeah, you can see it all. All right, trying to look behind me here. And again, we have a ramp in the back. We have our stretcher here, and this stretcher will kind of come straight on out. This one's using wheels, so we don't have the struts on there. We're using the wheels. So, and then we're using this front. And the only problem I have with this front is this does not come off as easily. And I'm looking at it and it's like, okay, I mean, I can take it off, but I'm afraid that, do I have stuff built on top of here? So you're only going to have room for the one person here, which is all we really have, because if I open up the truck, there's only 2 people there. And the truck was a little wider, so we actually have the pilot and we have the truck driver, so that's all that is. I think this was a good set too at the time. I still kind of like the helicopter and the truck setup. It's an interesting take. This one looks a little bit more beefed up. It is a little bit wider than what we had on this one. We actually have the rappelling line. I think this is just a straight medical transport. This is a medical rescue. So if you take it in that regard, there's a part of me that says maybe I should try and see. I think I have another helicopter that had gotten torn apart, so I think I have some extra blades. I should try and do this so it's got the 4 blades as well. But for what it is, this was pretty good at the time. I really don't have too many issues with it. But when you look at it, look at what they did on this Flight for Life or medical transport helicopter or whatever. I mean, we got a better door in the back that covers all that up, and if it sits a little bit more seamlessly. We have handholds on the side, and we're meant to actually have a character kind of sit on the side and rappel down. And this does work, as I kind of loosened it up and I tightened it up with that piece right there, so it does hold pretty good. I think this is actually a little bit better. We don't have a truck, which was kind of a nice little thing for me at the time, but that's immaterial. And the fact that we're getting three minifigures compared to the 2. Again, this was a bigger set because it had the truck and the helicopter, and I don't remember what the price was for that. This is like, I think 2 years old, maybe a year old, but I'm thinking more of 2 years old. And this is the one that just came out. So, and like I said, I mean, when you look at the flare here, this was just kind of flared out for our tail rotor. We actually had the spinner here. This is a little bit more of the Technic, which is a way that they're actually kind of doing a lot more of the helicopters, because when you have people standing back here, you don't want anyone to walk into one of your blades here, which is always a big concern. So for a lot of the medical helicopters today, you are starting to see more rotor blade, or the tail rotors, done like this than straight out in the open. For that reason, that way it keeps people from getting inside there. And they're starting to put some cages on there, so it's harder to bump into that. We still get the airflow and everything else, but just not as likely to bump into that, especially when, you know, we're walking back here. This one would be the same way, where, you know, we have the engine inlets, so there's going to be hot air coming out here as well. And this would be the same way, doing it maybe a little higher, but you still have warm air coming out here. People duck down trying to get through here. These sit up pretty high. So for the reality of, would that be a big concern for these guys? I mean, it's all pretend play. So, it's, you know, the reality is you don't have to worry about it in real life. I know seeing how some of these go or whatever, and I remember even in military, if we were walking up to the helicopter, you always kind of ducked down because you didn't know if it was pitched one way or the other, and you just did not want to walk into the blades, which would not make for a very good day. So I think with that, we're pretty well gone over everything here. I mean, we have our older build. This is our newer one. It is wider. It is kind of nice. I think it looks really nice. I mean, I think this does actually get out to the same width, but this looks a lot better than what we had done here. Maybe if I could actually kind of redo this a little bit, but I don't have the right colors for that, so I'll probably just leave this be. I don't see a big need to change it. I'll just leave it more stock. If anything, I might try and get some extra rotor blades kind of coming out here, but so it'd be closer to what this is. But still, thank you for visiting. Thank you for sitting around the pool table with me and listening to me kind of go on for the silliness that is today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.